for someone who, it just, if you're a little tired and you're not off, and even if you rear end this guy, how much property damage, how much loss of time, how many man hours are spent trying to settle that insurance case, and this and that, and the cops and everybody else. If it could just save one of those, it's worth it. We really get a lot of detractors out there, and people who say, it should be banned from the roads because it's not ready for prime time, and it's not this and it's not that. But I can tell you, it's close enough to prime time, man. It's pretty good, and it's only getting better every few weeks. And I mean, at this rate, it's not going to be long before it's 100%. I mean, I guess nothing will ever be 100%, but maybe whatever, 98.8%, which is pretty good. In case you're driving, you probably should be 100%. But as humans, when we're driving, we're never 100%. Otherwise there'd be no car accidents. But there's car accidents every day. So as far as autopilot goes, I mean, I can't stress enough how amazing it is. I mean, this is stop and go. I'm not even worried about it. It's doing its thing. And I'm just sitting here casually relaxing, Things are going on out there. I'm in my safe little bubble right here. So I don't need to worry about it, And that makes a world of difference when you come home at the end of the day, not stressed out from dealing with craziness, after a long day of work, and then you get in the car and it's just insanity around you, which it is. You can see what's happening here. You see all the people shifting lanes and moving around and doing this and doing that, and the traffic's backed up over here. Traffic is always backed up over here, and what happens is people stay in this lane, then cut in at the last moment, but they clog up this lane. And then for some reason, this left lane, which I'll never understand, goes just as slow, and which makes no sense to me. This lane should be moving at 70 miles an hour. Again, I know that's not safe. If that lane's doing 50, you shouldn't be doing that much more. But just saying, everybody steps on the brakes for whatever reason. None that I could see. But yeah, it makes a world of difference when you're on your commute. And it's one of those things that Tesla owners will tell you that, but it's not easy to quantify. There's a few things that aren't easy to quantify, and that you don't get from your research of, hey, I want a Tesla, let me look into it. One is that there's traffic, things are going on, I'm not stressed, I'm not worried, I'm not fighting with people, I'm not, road raging. I'm used to be that guy. Now maybe it's old age that's gotten caught up to me, or maybe it's the fact that I got a car that takes the stress away, which is a huge benefit. And then the other thing that you can't quantify a lot is that nobody really tells you, or you don't think about until you get it and you start using it. And that is gas stations and fueling up. Every day you would go home and you'd be like, oh, you're on your way home, long day, it's 6 o'clock, I don't want to stop tonight, I'm going to stop for gas in the morning, I'll fill it up in the morning, no problem. And then you wake up that 5 minutes late in the morning, and you're running out of the house, you're freaking out, you're behind schedule, and you get to the car and you're like, okay, we're going to make it, we're going to be on time, no problem. Oh, I got to get gas. And I've done this numerous times. Ooh, police officer on the side of the road up here. We will be switching to beta right here. So, let's see what happens here. Now, I know that I used to... Oh, I think he pulled out. Let's see what happens. It was giving me the warning, for emergency lights, and the officer is out of his car. feel like I should give him some room. Let's see what it does. I mean, it's got plenty of room there. You can feel it hugging the left line. Yeah, she gave him some room. Pretty good, pretty good. So, you know, I mean, it's going slow because the car's in front of us, I think, but maybe not, because you can see she's picking up now to try to catch up with that one. So maybe it was because of the emergency lights. But yeah, it's just, you know, you don't have that anymore. You wake up in the morning, your car's recharged, it's at 90%. I have it set, you know, so it's done at 5:45 at 90% with the heat on or the air conditioning on. So it's nice. It's real nice. We're going to take the back roads today, so I'm going to cancel that destination. This is my navigation. You know, when you navigate, that's what it's basing your route planning on here. So, you know, if I had my regular route home, I just stay straight on this road, make one right and another left, and that's how I would get home. But today I'll run through town to put the beta through some stresses, since I got the recorder up. And it's actually going pretty good now that it stopped turning itself off. So we're going to be coming up here to our first turn, which will be a right. I'm going to do that. That's our next turn. This way you can see the visualizations. It is now going to try to get in that lane. As you see here on the screen, it's going to fill up that lane with like a blue. There you go. So it knows, it's telling you I'm getting in this lane. Then it's going to do the same, and it's going to tell you I'm getting in that lane. Now we're put on the blinker, and we're moving into the other lane. Now we're going to make our 90-degree right-hand turn at a green light. No problems. I didn't touch anything. That was beautiful. Beautiful textbook turn. Now it's going to pick back up to 45. This is where a problem starts, and it's been happening every time. It creeps over the yellow line there. See it? It just barely touches that yellow line, but it touches it. I bug report it every time. Needs to stay in its lane at all times. You know, that's one thing you don't want to find out. I will say, if there's a car coming the other way, you feel it yank a little bit to the right. It gives it a little extra pull to the right. But I don't know why it doesn't do it every time, only if there's a car there. And you don't want to find out that the other guy is a little over, and then next thing you know, you got an accident. So I always just, I keep bug reporting it, but so far I have not seen any uptick on fixing that. And that happens every single time I go through that turn. So this is basically one lane, you know, 2-lane back road to my house. You know, it is Brewster, Danbury, New Fairfield area in New York, Connecticut line. And she does really well. A little bit of excessive braking there, so I gave it a little gas. But she handles these windy turns pretty good. Like I said, the only bit is it gets a little too close sometimes to the yellow line or the white line. You can see it's doing it all on its own right here. It's at max 45, but it is slowing down for the turns and taking them as, see there, it got a little bit close. You can see it right on that screen. It'll get a little close. This one is do the same thing. It'll get a little close. Now I'm going to scroll wheel down. See, now here comes a car that's practically on our side of the road, and you could feel it. It slowed down and pulled over, like to give him the room, because he was on our side of the road. So I am going to save that recording so I have it for future, because I like to look at those things and see what that looked like. I know I have the GoPro running. I could probably just watch it there, but sometimes the in-car cameras help a little more. And you can see that little twitch. It did a little twitch there because that car was coming on the other side of the road, so it twitched back. It is recognizing the other cars on the road, and it is, whether or not, I don't know if really, I'm going to say avoiding them. I mean, it doesn't need to avoid them, but like that guy, he was over the line. He was over the line. I mean, it saw it and it corrected for it. And that's pretty impressive. I mean, I don't care who you are. That's impressive that it could see that and kind of like that second, you know, make a decision to pull over a little bit more, you know, right in that moment. I mean, that's just impressive. That's what the system's for, you know. That's what it's supposed to do, I believe. Like I said, barring a couple of times where it just goes slightly over the yellow line, really doesn't. Now, I'm scroll wheeling down for this turn, because this turn is pretty bad. Oh, this guy's going a little fast. I disengaged there. I wasn't going to test it. He was flying. I didn't like it. I don't like to take the chance that it will go slightly over. You can see here, it's on the yellow line. Like, it rides the yellow. And I kind of say, you know, why ride the yellow if you could ride the white a little bit more, you know, or just make sure you're super centered in there. And if you're not centered, favor the white line, because that's where it would be. I gave it a little gas there because it slowed down a bit. You know, favor that white line, because that's where you really, at least me as a driver, want to be. Give the guy a little room on the other side of the road. More room than he needs, because you don't want to, you know, end up in an accident. But I don't know what the AI is determining there on, you know, oh, nobody's there, so I can get close to the yellow. Like, I don't know, especially in that one really tight turn. See, this one, it doesn't get as close, and it does this turn really nice. But for some reason, that other turn, you know, it just gets a little tight there. I don't know why. But yeah, you could definitely tell. I mean, you know, I took over that one time, obviously. Again, that guy kind of scared me. He was flying, but I had plenty of room. Had I let it roll in there, even if it went over the yellow a little bit, or rode the yellow, would have been fine.